Beloved, I stand before you today to speak on something that will stir your heart, something that will ignite a fire in your spirit. We are living in a world full of confusion and noise, but even in the midst of all this, there are signs that will let you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are marked by the Almighty Himself. Today, I want to share with you 4 powerful signs that show you are chosen by God. The first sign is unusual favor. Unusual favor is a divine gift that marks your life in ways that others can see, but can't always explain. It is an extraordinary blessing that seems to follow you everywhere you go, often when you least expect it. This favor doesn't come because of your skill, your talent, or your human effort alone, but because God has chosen to pour His grace upon you. It's a favor that transcends ordinary understanding, favor that opens doors that should have been closed, that shifts circumstances in your favor when all logic says it shouldn't happen. There's a particular grace that God extends to those He has marked, a favor that is not earned but rather freely given. This favor is so powerful that it doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of those around you as well. You might find that people begin to show kindness to you for no apparent reason. You might find favor with leaders, with influential people, and with those who hold positions of power and authority. He set a theme here today. A breakthrough that you do not ever have to expect. Doors that you have been knocking on for years suddenly swing open, and opportunities that you could not have dreamed of become your reality. This type of favor is not based on your achievements or your qualifications, but on the divine destiny God has set for you. Think about it for a moment. There are times in life when we try and try, putting in all our efforts, only to see doors remain shut. We work tirelessly, believe in our abilities, and yet something is missing. But then, when God's favor steps in, everything changes. It's as if the atmosphere shifts and you find that doors are no longer closed to you. Things that were once out of reach are suddenly within your grasp. And this shift doesn't happen because of your personal merits, but because God has decided to give you favor. It's as if heaven itself opens up on your behalf. People who have experienced God's favor in this way often testify that it's not something they could have orchestrated on their own. They didn't work harder or have a better strategy. It was simply that God's hand was upon them in a way that they couldn't explain. It's the type of favor that elevates you to places you never thought you'd be. For some, it might be a promotion at work, an opportunity to travel the world, or a connection to people who can help them fulfill their purpose. For others, it might be the restoration of relationships that were broken, or the provision of resources they never thought possible. This favor isn't limited to material or external blessings alone. God's favor can show up in your health, in your peace of mind, and in your ability to endure trials that would normally break others. When you are marked by God's favor, even the most difficult circumstances seem to bend in your favor. You will find yourself experiencing breakthroughs in areas where you once struggled. This favor lifts you up in times of hardship and makes the impossible look easy. It is as if the very forces of nature align to support you and move you toward your destiny. Favor is not just for a moment, it's for a lifetime. Once God's favor is upon you, it continues to rest on you, leading you from one victory to the next. But this favor also serves a purpose. It is not just for your benefit, but for the fulfillment of God's plan. When God favors you, He does so because He has a divine assignment for your life. The favor you experience is meant to advance His kingdom, to open doors for others, and to be a testimony to His goodness and power. As you walk in this favor, others will notice, and they will be drawn to the God who has blessed you in such extraordinary ways. The favor of God is the divine provision for your life's calling. It sets you apart and equips you for greatness. It doesn't mean that you won't face challenges or opposition, but it means that in the face of those challenges, God will provide what you need. The favor of God guarantees that no weapon formed against you will prosper, and that every obstacle that stands in your way will be overcome. It's a favor that brings protection, guidance, and abundance, and it surrounds you like a shield wherever you go. When you are marked by God's favor, it becomes evident in your life. You won't have to explain it because others will see it. It will be visible in your success, in the peace that surrounds you, and in the doors that open wide before you. God's favor will make things happen for you that others can only dream of. And the beauty of it all is that it is not because of anything you've done, but because of the love and grace of the one who has called you. His favor is not limited by human understanding, and it will carry you into the fullness of your divine destiny. Next, you will experience divine disruption. Divine disruption is an extraordinary sign that you are marked by God. It's the moment when God steps into your life and changes the course of your plans, redirecting your path in ways that you might never have anticipated. It is a divine intervention that may feel uncomfortable at first, but ultimately it is for your good and the fulfillment of His purpose for your life. When God disrupts your life, it's not because He is punishing you, but because He is positioning you for something greater than you can imagine. When we think about disruption, we often associate it with chaos, frustration, and uncertainty. We find ourselves in moments where things seem to fall apart, and the things we thought were secure are suddenly shaken. But divine disruption operates differently. It comes at a time when you least expect it, often when you feel like everything is falling into place. You've worked hard to create a life for yourself. You've planned your next steps, and you are comfortable in your routines. Then, out of nowhere, God intervenes, and everything shifts. At first, this might seem like a setback. You might find yourself questioning why things are no longer working as you planned. But as you continue to trust God through this disruption, you begin to see that His hand is moving in your life in ways that are far beyond what you could have done on your own. Divine disruption is often the answer to a prayer you didn't even know you were praying. It's God's way of opening up a new chapter for you, even if it means closing the door to the one you thought you were meant to walk through. This disruption is often a change in direction. You might have been pursuing a career, a relationship, or a certain goal, but suddenly you find that your plans are interrupted. Maybe you lose a job, or a relationship ends unexpectedly, or an opportunity you were relying on falls through. These disruptions can be jarring, but they are often God's way of steering you toward a higher calling. God knows the end from the beginning, and when He disrupts your life, He does so because He sees the bigger picture. He knows that what you thought was best for you was not His best for you. One of the most powerful aspects of divine disruption is that it challenges your trust in God. In the midst of disruption, it's easy to feel lost, confused, or even angry. You might wonder why God is allowing things to fall apart. But what you need to understand is that God is never working against you. He is working for you. He is setting you up for something better, something you could never have planned for yourself. Divine disruption is God's way of clearing the path for His perfect will to unfold in your life. Sometimes God allows disruption because we are holding on too tightly to things that are not aligned with His purpose. We may be pursuing things out of fear, insecurity, or the desire to control our circumstances. But God knows what we need before we even ask for it. He knows that the path we are on may lead to a dead end, and so He steps in to redirect us, even if it feels painful at first. The disruption is not a punishment. It's an act of love and grace. God is protecting us from the consequences of our own decisions and guiding us towards something far greater. Divine disruption often brings a new perspective. It forces us to let go of our plans and rely entirely on God's wisdom and timing. When our lives are disrupted, we are forced to look at the world with fresh eyes. We begin to see opportunities we would have otherwise missed, and we start to recognize the areas where God has been working all along, even when we couldn't see it. This disruption often opens our hearts and minds to new possibilities, new relationships, and new ways of thinking. The beauty of divine disruption is that it brings a sense of divine timing. When God disrupts your life, He is not doing so randomly. His timing is always perfect. He knows when you are ready for the next step in your journey, even if you don't realize it yet. What may feel like a setback is actually a setup for a breakthrough. You may not understand why things are happening the way they are, but you can trust that God is always in control. His disruption is part of the divine orchestration that is leading you to your purpose. As you walk through divine disruption, you will begin to see how it transforms you. You will grow in resilience, in faith, and in trust. You will understand that God's ways are higher than your ways, and His thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And through that understanding, you will begin to see the disruption not as a negative force, but as a divine blessing that is positioning you for your divine destiny. What may seem like an interruption is in fact an invitation to step into the fullness of what God has for you. Unexplainable peace in storms is one of the most powerful signs that you are marked by God. It is a peace that transcends all understanding, a peace that guards your heart and mind even when the world around you is filled with turmoil. This peace does not come from the absence of problems or challenges, but from the presence of God in the midst of them. It is the kind of peace that defies human logic, the kind of peace that others cannot comprehend because it does not make sense in the natural realm. When you are marked by God, you experience a peace that sustains you during life's most difficult seasons. The storms of life come to everyone, whether it's the loss of a loved one, financial struggles, a health crisis, or relational conflict. No one is immune to the storms that threaten to overwhelm us. But when you are marked by God, He gives you a peace that anchors your soul, even when the winds of adversity rage around you. It is a peace that is not determined by your circumstances, but by the presence of God in your life. This peace is not a superficial calm. It is a deep inner tranquility that cannot be explained by human means. It's a peace that comes from knowing that God is with you, that He is in control, and that He is working everything together for your good. In the midst of the storm, when everything else seems to be falling apart, this peace remains unshaken. It's the kind of peace that allows you to sleep soundly at night, even when the world is in chaos. It's the kind of peace that allows you to smile in the face of adversity, knowing that your God is greater than any storm. Unexplainable peace in storms also brings a sense of stability. When the world around you is in turmoil, it's easy to feel like your life is out of control. The fear and uncertainty that come with life's challenges can be overwhelming. But when God gives you peace, He brings stability to your emotions, to your thoughts, and to your spirit. This peace doesn't allow the waves of fear, worry, or anxiety to drown you. It keeps you steady, even when the world is shaking. This peace also provides clarity. In the midst of a storm, when emotions are high and decisions need to be made, it is easy to be overwhelmed by confusion and uncertainty. But with God's peace, you find that your mind is clear and you are able to make decisions with wisdom and discernment. God's peace removes the noise of fear and anxiety, allowing you to hear His voice clearly and follow His guidance. It's in these moments that God reveals His plans for you and gives you the strength to endure. People who experience this unexplainable peace often testify that it's not something they can produce on their own. It's not a result of positive thinking or self-motivation. It's the result of God's presence in their lives. This peace comes when you surrender your fears and anxieties to God and trust that He is in control. It's the peace that comes when you realize that no matter what happens, God is with you and He will never leave you or forsake you. One of the most beautiful aspects of this peace is that it becomes a testimony to others. When you walk through storms with unshakable peace, others will notice. They will see that you are facing the same challenges they are, yet you are not falling apart. They will wonder how you can remain calm and steady when everything around you is crumbling. And in those moments, you have the opportunity to point them to the source of your peace. God Himself. Your peace becomes a witness to His power and presence in your life. Unexplainable peace is also a sign that you have learned to trust God completely. It's easy to have peace when everything is going well, but true peace is demonstrated when you are walking through the storm. It's when you let go of control, stop trying to fix everything on your own, and trust that God is working all things for your good, even when you can't see the way forward. This peace comes when you acknowledge that you are not in control, but God is. It's the peace that comes from surrender. Surrendering your fears, your worries, and your desires to Him, and trusting that He will lead you through. This peace is not temporary. It doesn't fade when the storm passes or when the circumstances change. It is a constant, abiding peace that stays with you no matter what. Even after the storm has subsided, this peace remains, continuing to guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. It's a peace that endures through every trial, every test, and every season of life. When you are marked by God, His peace is a constant companion, guarding you, protecting you, and sustaining you. It's the kind of peace that gives you strength to keep moving forward, even when the world says you should give up. It is unexplainable, unshakable, and unstoppable. A peace that can only come from the one who calms the storms with a single word. Divine encounters and dreams are profound signs that you are marked by God. These encounters and dreams are often beyond the realm of ordinary experience. They are supernatural moments where God reveals His will, His heart, and His guidance in ways that cannot be explained through natural means. They are moments where heaven touches earth and your spirit witnesses something that transcends the physical world. When you are marked by God, He will often engage with you through dreams and divine encounters, leading you closer to His purpose for your life. Divine encounters can take many forms. They may come as moments of intense inspiration, as you suddenly feel the overwhelming presence of God while in prayer, worship, or in the quiet of your own heart. These moments may occur in the form of visions, where God opens your eyes to see the unseen. You may be walking through your everyday life and suddenly a profound realization hits you. Or you may experience a supernatural event that leaves you in awe. These encounters are not coincidental. They are God's way of revealing Himself to you in a way that is unmistakable. These experiences serve as reminders that God is not distant, but that He is near, always communicating with you, leading and guiding you. Dreams too play a significant role in divine encounters. From the Bible, we know that God often spoke to His people through dreams, revealing prophetic insights, guiding decisions, and sometimes giving warnings or visions of the future. Just as God spoke to Joseph, Daniel, and others in the Scriptures, He continues to speak to His people through dreams today. When you are marked by God, your dreams take on a deeper significance. They are not just random thoughts or desires. They are often God-given messages, visions of His plans, and sometimes even glimpses into the spiritual realm. And one of the most significant aspects of divine encounters and dreams is that they give you clarity. When you are marked by God, He will often use dreams to confirm or direct you toward His will. Sometimes the path ahead may seem unclear, and you may be seeking guidance in the midst of uncertainty. God's divine encounters and dreams serve as a compass, directing your steps, providing wisdom and insight that you may not have received through any other means. Dreams may reveal things that are hidden in the natural world, exposing the truth behind situations or relationships that you are facing. They may give you wisdom on decisions that will shape your future, or show you the spiritual forces at work in your life. These divine encounters also often carry a sense of urgency and purpose. When God speaks to you through dreams or encounters, it's never without a reason. He doesn't waste time or words. His messages are meant to move you into action. The Holy Spirit often stirs your heart, urging you to pay attention, to make changes, or to step into the calling He has for you. These experiences may be life-changing, convicting, and life-altering in ways that you never expected. The purpose of these encounters and dreams is always aligned with God's divine plan for your life. At times, these divine encounters may come in moments of great need or crisis. In these seasons, God will show up in unexpected ways. He may bring a dream of peace when you are feeling overwhelmed, a vision of restoration when you are experiencing loss, or a divine appointment when you need guidance. When you are marked by God, these encounters may also happen when you are most in need of encouragement, direction, or confirmation. It is in these moments that you feel the hand of God upon your life, speaking directly into your circumstances, offering comfort, direction, and purpose. Divine encounters and dreams are also part of God's ongoing work to shape your character. They challenge you to grow in your understanding of God's will and deepen your relationship with Him. They force you to examine your life, your motives, and your desires. When God speaks through dreams or encounters, He often calls you to align yourself more closely with His purposes. These moments help you see yourself and the world around you from a higher spiritual perspective. God's revelations are not merely for knowledge. They are for transformation. As you walk in obedience to these divine encounters, you find that they begin to shape your life in remarkable ways. You begin to see God's fingerprints on everything around you, recognizing that the divine hand that directed Joseph in his dreams is also guiding you in your own life. Dreams and encounters become not only moments of divine revelation, but also moments of deep intimacy with God. You grow in your ability to hear His voice and recognize His guidance in everyday life. The beauty of divine encounters and dreams is that they are deeply personal. While God may give visions, dreams, and encounters to many people, the way He speaks to you is unique to you. It may be through symbols in dreams, a specific encounter with another person, or a profound moment of revelation that is tailored to your life's journey. These personal experiences are evidence that you are marked by God, that He knows you intimately and is actively involved in your life. They remind you that you are not alone on this journey. You are a part of something much bigger than yourself, and God is guiding you, speaking to you, and revealing His will for you every step of the way. Divine encounters and dreams are a testament to the active, personal, and powerful relationship that God desires to have with His people. When you experience these moments, you are reminded that you are marked by God for a divine purpose, and that His plans for you are far greater than you can imagine. They are the moments when heaven touches earth, and you get a glimpse of the divine plan unfolding in your life. Amen. And so, my friends, as you continue to walk this journey marked by God, remember that these signs, unusual favor, divine disruption, unexplainable peace in storms, and divine encounters and dreams are not just isolated occurrences. They are the unmistakable evidence that you are not just living an ordinary life, but a life ordained by the Almighty. These are the fingerprints of God upon your existence, guiding you, shaping you, and leading you into a destiny far greater than what you can see in the natural. Embrace them. Embrace the disruptions, the dreams, the encounters, and the peace that surpasses all understanding. For in them God is revealing His purpose for you, His love for you, and His mighty plans that are unfolding step by step. You are not just marked by God for greatness, you are marked for impact. The world may not understand it, but you will know deep in your heart that you have been chosen for such a time as this. So step into your calling with confidence, with boldness, and with unwavering faith, for God is with you, and He will never leave you nor forsake you. May you walk in the fullness of the signs of your divine marking, knowing that what is ahead of you is greater than anything you have left behind. God bless you.